quick reminder that FanDuel is the official sportsbook partner of not just the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, but of the NBA as well. And right now, new customers can bet $5, win $150 in bonus bets if that first $5 bet wins. You can bet on the opening tip. You can combine bets in the same game parlay and even bet on fourth quarter comebacks. Just head over to FanDuel.com/UCSS to join today. Like we said, new customers can bet $5, win $150 in bonus bets if that first $5 bet wins. Just head over to FanDuel.com/UCSS. FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Guys, we're going to talk Cavs now. There are 28 games left in the regular season. The second half, or proverbial second half, tips off Thursday night when the Cavs are on the road in Brooklyn. They come back home and take on the Knicks on Friday. But Dustin, take out the first 54 games. That is irrelevant for this conversation. Over the next 28 games between now and the end of the regular season, who do you think the Cavs' most valuable player will be?
Mobley.
Why Mobley?
I think he's the guy that has taken the biggest leap this season. And if things are going to be different as we end this year, which we all think that they're going to be, and they're going to have a chance in the postseason to really make a run, they're going to need Evan Mobley to continue to elevate his game, which has been unbelievable to this point. Thus far this season, like a completely different player. And I think that, he's one of those guys, especially, like the NBA season's long, right? And Mobley is still one of those younger guys who's still got a bunch of piss and vinegar ready to go for the end of this regular season. Like they're going to need that energy to push them across the finish line into the playoffs. And I think Mobley is going to be the answer. We've talked about this for a couple of years. Like when the Cavs finally get good, who's going to be their best player? And I think a lot of us for the last few years have said it's got to be Evan Mobley, and it wasn't. It was Donovan Mitchell, for the most part. And I'm cool with Donovan playing the way that he's been playing and continuing to dominate and be a great scorer and a great teammate. But to go to that next level, it's going to have to be Evan Mobley, at least my opinion, and I think he can do it.
Tyvis?
You said for the next 28 games. I think
first 54 don't matter. Just in the next 28 games, who will be the Cavs MVP?
I think for the next 28 games, I think the Cavs. Obviously, everybody knows how I feel about Darius Garland. I'm not saying him though. So I'm taking my biases and putting it to the side. I'm going with Donovan Mitchell because I think Donovan has cruised this season, which has been great for him to sit back and trust his teammates to do their thing. But we haven't really seen Donovan be Donovan. Like he's been shooting fine, but it ain't been that high consistent. The points he's flirting with 20, 21, 22 points. Like it's okay, But I think with this 28 games, I think he wants to finish this season off on a heater, and I think he wants to get himself prepared to be in the playoffs, get in that playoff mode and that mindset. So I think I'll see him turn it up in this second half of this season. I think we'll see him get close. I'm not saying he's going to go back to like an MVP performing type of guy where he's going to win MVP, but I think he's definitely going to turn it up a notch because I think he's been very passive, these first 50 games of the season. I think that he's got to get back to who he is. I think he's did a really good job of trusting his teammates, but he's an alpha guy, and he's going to have to be that alpha even when the playoffs come. So I think he's got to get himself prepared for that, and I think that's why we'll see him be the MVP for these next 28 games.
G. Bush.
This is a little bit off schedule, but I'm just going to say it. It's DeAndre Hunter. What, man? I know what Donovan Mitchell can give me. I know what Darius Garland can give me. I know what Jarrett Allen is. And Mobley, I feel like he's playing with confidence. You'll still consider, see him ascend to where he's going to be. The thing, all I care about these last games is getting DeAndre Hunter acclimated and on the same page and on the same frequency and the same type energy that the rest of the team got. I need them to be going on bowling outings, cooking dinner. I don't know what they need to do. I go to church together, but I need them all hanging out because that's the key. They already had the squad. They was there. Like they had their four match up with the four that the Celtics got. But when Porzingis came back, they showed another wrinkle that the Cavs had nothing for. They was posting, Porzingis was posting up. They had all the little guards all by his chin and elbows. He was just pulling up on us. We needed somebody that can combat that on the defensive end of the floor. And if Kenny Atkinson can do all of these things at once, all of a sudden Kenny Atkinson came in, and all of a sudden your boy Mobley can shoot threes and handle the ball. Kenny Atkinson showed up, and all of a sudden Darius Garland's floater is unstoppable. And he's cocky, and he talks, and he does all kind of gang signs. He shows gang signs now. He's a thug now. I like the thug, Darius Garland. Then you got Jarrett Allen. Listen, his fro is the same, but he started dunking on people. I said, where did you get this dunk package, Jarrett Allen? Now I need DeAndre Hunter. If they can get DeAndre Hunter to add something to his game, the Cavs is in there. Now the rotation is getting smaller too. Now we talked about it. You're gonna get Strus. Okoro, you better come back in a hurry because you might not be in that rotation, dog. I'm just letting you know that 28 is a sprint. So now everything is lining up. If DeAndre Hunter get lined up and start feeling good about himself, Cavs, it might be a problem, man. It might be a problem, McNuggets.
Gee, I love when you take a question, say, I don't care about the question, I'm going to give you a different question, and I'm going to answer a separate question. Because if the question was, who was the Cavs' most important player over the 28 games, DeAndre Hunter's the right answer. And Jason and I did an Ultimate Cavaliers show this morning. We did a draft of our top storylines for the final 28 games. And both of our number one picks was, how do the Cavs integrate DeAndre Hunter before the playoffs? So if it was most important, yes, DeAndre Hunter. The question was, who's the MVP of the 28 games? It won't be DeAndre Hunter. I think you can make a great case for Evan Mobley. I think you can make a great case for Donovan Mitchell, but I'm actually going to go with Darius Garland for this specific reason. Over the final 28 games for the Cavs, they have 5 back-to-backs, and they play 5 games in 7 days, 3 separate times. It is a gauntlet of a schedule before the playoffs tip off. And we saw it last season. It was after the All-Star break when Donovan tweaked his tendonitis in his knee on a free throw. Evan and Jarrett, they are going to be incredibly cautious with those two, not to overplay them so they don't pick up some sort of miscellaneous injury because, in my opinion, the number one thing for the Cavs is being as healthy as possible come playoff time. Donovan, who has already had his minutes cut, does not need any more runway to the playoffs on those back-to-backs and the 5 and 7s. I think he's going to get a little extra rest, which is going to come down to putting a lot of pressure on Darius Garland to be the catalyst of the offense on certain nights when Donovan and/or Jarrett and/or Evan isn't in the lineup. So far this season, he's answered that call almost every time he's been given the opportunity. He is having the best season of his professional career. I refuse to listen to any argument against that, despite the fact he had better numbers a couple of years ago. His clutch numbers are through the roof. He's the only guard in basketball in the 50-40-90 club. He is more than capable of running this Cavaliers offense without Donovan by his side. He's even better when Spite is in the lineup with him. And now figuring out how to incorporate DeAndre Hunter into the fold as the point guard, G, I think that's why Darius Garland is going to be the most valuable and, frankly, the second most important part of the Cavs' second half of the season here.
I like Darius Garland, man. Trust me. I was on him all last year, man.
Yes, you was.
I was on him all last year. He got a different game this year, bro. I mean, it's funny how you could tell. They went to the All-Star weekend and they was real cocky. They was just walking around like Timothy, like him and Evan Mobley walking around. He was even cocky and he don't even say nothing. They asked Evan Mobley, "Hey, do you think the Cavs years?" He's like, "Yes, it's the Cavs year this year. I'm only 12 years old, but I'm good now." This cat Mobley, I'm like, when did you get cocky? I like the energy, man. I love it, man. We're gonna see who they got. When is the first game?
Thursday against the Nets.
On the road against the Nets, and then they're home
Nets and
Friday
Knicks
against
and Grizzlies.
Okay.
They got a tough stretch coming up.
I like that.
They got some tough games in the second half of the season here. They got Memphis twice. They still have Boston again. They have the Knicks twice, the Pacers twice. So they're gonna figure out who their best 5 is against some of the best teams in the East. And it's good to get those tests now as opposed to finding out for the first time come the playoffs.
I like the Darius Garland answer, obviously. You know, if I was going to buy a jersey for a Cavs player, it would be Darius's.
You still under that age limit. You can't. You 35. You can't buy no jerseys. You might well get them in the next 4 years.
Nothing more Saquon.
A second. You got rules? You got rules on jerseys for
That's what somebody told me that if you older than the player, you can't buy the jersey.
It's tough. You can do a throwback. You get the throwback off. Like
there ain't no throwback Darius Garland jersey.
I know. So that means by default you're disqualified.
Are you saying like he's got to go with like throwback Mark Price, Dari, those kind of guys?
Old school dudes.
I want a DG jersey though. Like
listen, I'm a big Imani Bates fan. You know how crazy that look?
First of all, that's different. He don't play.
First of all, the jersey will be wide around the midsection. They're like, dang, G. Bush, that's the smallest Imani Bates jersey we've ever seen. I'm like, this is a 4X. Don't worry about it. Like,
well, you got bigger. Do that. You got bigger fish. I don't have that problem.
Well, but you can't have no Darius Garland. That's like you saying I'm growing my hair out because Darius Garland got locks.
McNuggets said he got a Saquon jersey.
No, Dustin has a Saquon.
So I wore a Saquon jersey before the Super Bowl. Yes, I've got grown men's jerseys.
Here's the thing: Dustin gets a reprieve because of this. Dustin also comes from an era where he is two things: he is an athlete, he knows black people, but he's still white. He can theoretically go to a game and have a button up on underneath the jersey. Only white men get that off. There's never been one black man besides Billy Ocean who has ever had a button up on under the giveaway jersey.
I don't think a white guy's ever pulled that off either. I don't think that look has ever been good. White, black, Asian,
I'm a unicorn,
yellow, purple, whatever. That's
He's
just not
unicorn.
A good look.
Get that off.
No, you can get it. You got to be like 50 to do something like that.
They be in the corporate boxes. They be hanging out. They be drinking before the game. They be having the slacks on, and they like, hey, that's one of our sponsors. That's one of our clients. It's Ken over there.
Garrett knows. Jersey. Garrett, you know, man, my closet's got depending on who I'm hanging out with. I got different sides.
He got the different section for real. Like I'm like, man, he'll come.
Are we hanging out? Oh, G Bush today. Okay, I go into the other closet.
You like I'm hanging out with G Bush. I'm John B today. You
Justin,
didn't even know.
Do you have any basketball jerseys or just football jerseys?
No, I've got tons of basketball jerseys.
Yeah, I have no issue.
I've got tons of Cavaliers jerseys, LeBron jerseys.
Are they current players? Like,
do I have any current? Yeah. I've got
current Cavalier.
A current Cavalier. Actually, I don't think I've got a current Cavalier because all my stuff was back from 2016. I've got like Kyrie Irving, LeBron.
Kyrie too.
Them is throwbacks.
I guess now they're throwbacks. Yeah,
them is throwbacks now.
I was gonna pick up a Donovan jersey recently, and I have not, but I will before the playoffs. I promise you that.
By the way,
are you getting the city one? Or are you what color? Because I'm torn.
No, I'm a big fan of the white jersey with the wine lettering with the old school Cavs logo. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I like those.
I like that.
Yeah. The Max Strus special.
Speaking of jerseys, before we move on, the white Luka 77 jersey is about to go Hall of Fame first ballot at frat parties for the next decade. That is going to be the single most popular jersey in the history of basketball frat party. It's gonna mirror like the Larry Bird Celtics and the Tyler Hero Miami Vice as the only other jerseys to go mega platinum at frat darties. So just be prepared to see
the white Lakers 77 jersey.
Yeah, the new with the Luka on the Lakers now with the purple letters.
Yeah, the purple and white.
Yeah. It's about to go double platinum.
Yeah, it just wasn't as big with Austin Reeves, was it?
Nope.
Didn't hit the same with Austin Reeves. By the way, I had a game we were gonna play if we were in studio today called NBA Central or NBA Central, where I took tweets from Central. Do you guys know what NBA Central is?
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys all know.
Yeah, it's the knockoff thing.
Yeah.
It's a spoof account, right?
Every day.
Yes. And we were gonna do a game today and see if you could decipher what was a NBA Central tweet or what was from NBA Central. And I'll pull it back up at some point. But it was asked about at All-Star Weekend. Some reporter, I don't know who she was, but some female reporter was asking all the NBA players if they'd ever gotten centelled before. And a lot of them said they did. So I was gonna see if I could get you guys. So that's coming to a UCSS episode near you guys very soon. So
you see, you're too young, Mike. This is what we used to call you getting Uncle Chaps. You get chapped.
Yep. That was it.
I don't know that.
See, you're too young.
Foreign to me.
Never heard of
it.